When the narcissist realizes you finally see them. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, this day is approaching. Maybe it's already happened. When the narcissist can sense that you are pulling away, they can sense or watch or observe or feel that you're changing. Something has shifted within you. This could be when you are still in the relationship. It is certainly when you're out of the relationship, because the narcissist was always observing you. They were studying you. They were trying to figure out what they could do to get you to do whatever they wanted you to do. They also wanted to place you in that zombie-like, trance-like state, which is known as, and I call it, the narcissistic fog. That place exists. You can't touch it. You can sense it. You can feel it. You can stay stuck in it. And eventually, you snap out of it. You escape it, if you will. And this is when the narcissist will begin to realize that you finally figured out who they are. You finally see who they are. When you met that person a long time ago, or when you originally met them, you weren't educated on toxicity. You didn't know what you know now. You didn't realize that another person could look like you, walk like you, talk like you, but yet lie directly to your face and manipulate you into doing their bidding for them, into perhaps putting a roof over their head, or marrying them, or having kids, or raising their kids, or doing whatever they wanted you to do. See, this is a master manipulator. The narcissist is a brainwasher. What they want to do is they want to trap as many people in that narcissistic abusive cycle as they possibly can. And they want to leave those people, abandon those people, isolate those people all by themselves on little islands of isolation in an ocean of manipulation, surrounded by a cesspool of abuse. A little graphic, but it's exactly what these people do. See, when you were in the relationship, you couldn't see what you see now. You most likely didn't know what triangulation was. I can assure you, you didn't know what financial abuse was. You were an open book. You were giving to a fault, maybe even a people pleaser. I can assure you, you did not have boundaries. You were listening to the abuser. You were listening to them, thinking that they had your best interest at heart, or they knew more than you. And over time, let's say you did have a little voice in the beginning of that relationship, and maybe you did. Over time, that voice was taken from you. This is why when you're in these relationships and you're trapped, you become a shell of yourself. You become an extension to the narcissist. You become the unpaid helper, the walking apology, and walking ATM, and so many more hats are what you wear. But you're wearing hats of abuse. You're wearing invisible shackles around your ankles. You're being tethered to somebody who is abusing you, and they know it. The narcissist is a parasite. They're looking for a host. They found a host when they found you. Now, are you a host? No, I am not either. But that's how they looked at it. They looked at you and said, oh, this relationship I could enter, and maybe it'll last a few years. Maybe it'll last 16 or 17 or 18 years till the kids graduate high school or university. Maybe it'll last until the narcissists themselves turn to inherit a large sum of money, then they discarded you. Or maybe it was when your parents died and you inherited a large sum of money, they collected whatever they could, or had you invest in their ideas, their beach properties, their ski chalets, and they put them under their name because you were trusting. And next thing you know, once they had all of your parents' resources that they willed to you, maybe that's when the discard happened. Whenever the relationship ended, that's when it was supposed to end. Bitter, tough pill to swallow, because many people, specifically those of us who weren't educated on narcissism and who were committed, and some of us got married to the toxic creature. Others of us were born into these relationships, or friends, or roommates, or dating, whomever it was, or maybe workplace bullies. But eventually what we figure out is that this person never cared about us. They never liked us. They were jealous of us. They had disdain for us. And that we had to figure this healing path out all by ourselves. And why I said that is, this is why I create videos each and every day, to pay it forward, because at one point I was where you are, or certainly where you were. If where you are is where you want to be, stay where you are. That means you're doing a great job and you understand toxicity, you're learning where you've learned. If you still are understanding what gaslighting is, what stonewalling, what verbal abuse is, and rage fits, and narcissism, and empathy, and humanity, and mindset, and everything about the toxic behaviors of human beings, not empathy, but the other ones, well, then you still have a ways to go. You still have work. Remember, the healing path is not linear. It will take time. It will take a lot of time, but in your time, you will heal if you utilize the tools that are provided for you with each and every video I create. And you also must remember that no one will do this work for you. You will have to do the work. Now, I just unloaded a bunch of wisdom for you, a couple tough pills to swallow, but when the narcissist realizes that you see them, that is a good thing for you. It usually means a couple things. One, if you're still in the relationship and say you've changed your mannerisms or your behaviors, or you weren't giving them supply or you're not, well, then they can sense that you're doing something different, you're shifting, because they were always spying on you, they were stalking you, they were watching you, observing you, controlling you, peppering you with abuse, intermittently reinforcing your lack of sleep, in other words, sleep deprivation and so much more. But when they sense that you're changing, this is when you're in the relationship, they will begin to do one of a couple things. One, maybe the discard's right around the corner. Maybe not, but that discard will be happening eventually, most likely, unless you entered it yourself. Number two, they may be trying to lather you up with a little bit of love bomb, which is a little bit of being a little extra nice to try and get you back in the line. So you would be thinking, wow, they're not that bad. Actually, we just had a good 24 hours. That's great. Well, then tomorrow the sun rises and boom, the hammer drops again, and here you go for another round. Or the third thing is they may begin to work on the new supply a little bit more, or start looking for a new supply. No matter how you cut it, when you're in the relationship, when you are changing and shifting, and we all do throughout these relationships, whether we know it or not, the narcissist is observing, and they are always measuring or gauging how much they can take from you. In the beginning of that relationship, they looked at you as an open book, a clean slate, with a lot of things that they could take, a lot of experiences they could destroy for you, a lot of holidays they could blow up, birthdays they could ruin, graduations they would never attend, and all the money that they wanted to take from you, and all the time and hobbies and everything. Well, as that relationship carried on, as you moved through the relationship, the love bomb was over. You were now in the devaluation stage, and you were being mistreated more and more, disrespected more and more, not listened to more and more, punished for being yourself more and more, and you became subservient to that narcissist. The more you became subservient, the more they looked at you and said, wow, I really broke this one quickly. It only took me 3 years. Usually it takes me 7 years or 6 years. Or maybe I broke that. I'm acting like the narcissist and I'm not. Maybe I broke this one in 6 months. Usually it takes me about 9 or 12 months. I must be getting better. Or this person's really, really in the narcissistic fog deep. Any way you cut it, the narcissist was always testing the temperature of you. And the more they tested the temperature of you, the more they were pressing on that gas pedal of abuse. The more they pressed on that gas pedal of abuse, the more they took from you. The more they took from you, the less they had, the less you had. The less you had, the more they wanted. The more they wanted, the more they began to look for your replacement. Now, I've shared similar words to those over the years, but no truer words have ever been mentioned, because the narcissist burns people out. The narcissist hides in plain sight. The narcissist wears cloaks and they carry daggers. The narcissist wants to control people up close from afar by using their smartphone as a remote control. In the house, the narcissist, if you were living with them, they usually have the mask off after you are living with them, and they usually really begin to pepper the abuse, meaning slamming doors, not doing dishes, being extremely filthy or dirty, blaming you for not cooking or cleaning, or why you have the job you have, or why you don't have a better job, or what you're doing with the money when you're giving them every last penny. How come you're not earning more? They will be doing whatever they can do. Now, again, when they go out the front door, what happens? It's perma-smile. Everything's puppies and rainbows, and you have the best house on the corner on the block with the white picket fence and the kids and the dog and everything. See, that's the illusion. That's what the narcissist wants people to see. That trapped you, and it allowed other people who were observing the narcissist as a healthy, stable person. Well, now you know there's a huge dichotomy when you're in the relationship with these parasites as to compared to when you're out of it, and also that when you're in the household with the narcissist, you are walking on eggshells, you're holding your breath, you're waiting for the next shoe to drop. You could never be yourself. But then again, you couldn't see back then what you see now. So now fast forward, when you can see it, you can't unsee it. And when the narcissist realizes that you can see them, I just gave you 3 examples what they will do usually, but eventually what they will do when they realize that you know who they are. And I'm not saying to call out the narcissist or expose them or shout from the rooftops or take out a 10-page ad in the newspaper. I'm not saying you don't do any of those things. What you need to do is focus on yourself. The narcissist will get what's coming to them, but when they realize that you're catching on to them, they will begin to look elsewhere to get a different source of supply, or a different living quarters, or a different place to have rendezvous with another supply source. They will also begin to look at how to stack more of your money, steal a little bit more of your time, trap you in the mental mindset, in the mental prison, and begin to isolate you more and more from your kids, your stepkids, your family, your friends, your colleagues, the neighbors, people in communities, and so much more. You see, they begin to ramp up the abuse when they realize that you're catching on. Now, usually for a person to catch on, it takes quite a long period of time. I was no different. But once you catch on, once you finally figure it out, if you are in the relationship, then you need to get ready to develop, create, and execute your exit plan. But if you're out, it's the same thing. It's just a different slice of the onion to be peeled back. When you're out of it, let's say you were discarded, or let's say you ended it yourself. Anyway, you're out of it and you're healing. Well, if you didn't block the narcissist by now, and maybe you haven't, they can still say, okay, well, this one, which is you, possibly, and it was me for a little bit of time, very short amount of time, this person still hasn't caught on. They still don't know who I am. So I can still twist the knife in them deeper. I can still make it seem like we don't have to get divorced tomorrow. We can drag it out a little bit longer while I'm grooming the new supply, or whatever they're thinking of doing. The narcissist does want to drag these things out. They want to drag the custody out. They want to steal your money as quickly as they can, because what does the narcissist love more than money? They love your money. And they want to drag out the divorce and everything else they possibly can. Because while they're dragging all these things out, meaning the tethers that you had to, let's say it's kids, money, and house and assets and things like that, and the marriage, or the wedding, marriage I should say, or union, then what it does multiple things for them, and not one of them are good for you. One, they can continue to lurk behind the scenes and create a false narrative. Number two, you don't know what's going on because you were never in a narcissistic abusive cycle. They've been in multiple, so they know what to do. Number three, they know who you are, and they know what buttons to press to continue to keep you trapped, which is what they do. Number four, they also know that they're toxic and that your relationship is about to end, so they can begin to insert a new source of supply simultaneously while administering a smear campaign to your support network. Now, I just unpacked a whole bunch of wisdom for you right there. You should play the video, play it a few times. Point being is, when the narcissist realizes you see them, they will have to go elsewhere. Now, this won't happen today, tonight, or tomorrow. Let's say that today's the first day you realize that somebody's the narcissist. Okay, well, first of all, not everyone is the narcissist. Second of all, but let's say you realize it and you begin to change your mannerisms or behaviors or whatever you do. They will see that. They will sense it. You couldn't see it or sense it when you were in it until maybe this very moment, because you didn't know who you were. They knew who you were before you even figured out who you were. And you may say, what are you talking about, Andrew? I don't get it. Well, remember, I shared with you earlier, the narcissist has a sixth sense. The narcissist is a predator. The narcissist needs a host. The narcissist is a parasite. So they know which person to attract. They know which person to love bomb. They know which person will provide the most amount of utility supply. And they also know which person will be drinking the Kool-Aid that they were pouring, as long as they want to continue to pour it. Flip it, you knew none of that. So you have, or perhaps even still had, or even had, whatever that is, a learning curve. I had a huge learning curve, and you either have one or you had one. Once you understand who that person was and what they did and what they're capable of, then you realize it's not just them. There are a lot of people that are similar to that. The thing is, you got up close and personal to the apex predator, yes, the narcissist, the one that rocked your world and spun it upside down, and they were hiding in plain sight, and they never thought you would see who they are or who they were. Eventually you did. That's why you made it this far in the video, just like I did, and that's why I create videos. So when you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, here's the key. If you haven't gone no contact, I strongly suggest you do so. If not now, when? If you can't do it today, I get it. Utilize gray rock. Become dull, become boring, get off the radar of the narcissist. Give blasé, mundane answers if you must communicate with them. But don't share your energy with them. Don't share your emotions with them. Don't share your plans. Don't share anything you're doing behind the scenes to break the tethers of that narcissistic relationship. And again, I've shared this recently in videos. I'll say it again. There are 4 tethers, 4 ties that must be cut. The emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie. These must be cut, and they will be cut by you, for you, and to benefit you. All of these things encompass one thing, and then I'll close the video. When the narcissist realizes you can see them, this is a very good thing for you. It is not a good thing for them. Is it going to be an easy path for you to break the trauma bond and get out of the narcissistic fog and heal? No, it wasn't easy for me. But one of the most important things you'll ever do is realize that you need to get as far away from that person as fast as you possibly can, because they don't change. They only deteriorate. They only get worse over time. They will never, ever be accountable or introspect. They will never say exactly who they are. They won't say what they did. They will blame you. They will blame your friends. They will blame your family. They will blame the neighbors. They will blame the kids. They'll blame anybody under the sun but themselves. These people won't be accountable ever. I know I said it twice. Point being is this. Once you wrap your head around who that person is, what they did, and that they did it knowingly, willingly, and deliberately, you need to realize they tried to destroy your life. This wasn't just an accident or a couple things or maybe a missed birthday or a couple missed phone calls. No, this was being hung up on over and over and over again. This was verbal abuse over and over and over again. This was gaslighting probably from the minute you met them. This was triangulation on airplanes, in buses, on vacations, at work seminars, in your neighborhoods. This was the smear campaign that you probably are just figuring out what that is right now, wrapping your head around the fact that that's been going on probably since the first day you met this person. And you may say, well, what is the smear campaign, Andrew? Well, in layman's terms, here's what it is. When you were in grade school, maybe you had a couple bullies in school who just made up lies about you, and maybe they tripped you walking down the hallway or put gum in your hair or whatever they did. Well, these are bullies. What did they do, though? They picked on people that they thought that were defenseless or wouldn't stand up for themselves. And then they told lies about you. Example, maybe you liked to do ABC. This is when you were a kid. Well, they picked on you. Now you realize that those lies that they told about you when you were a little kid, they were lies, and they were what children do, unfortunately, because children are learning how to grow up, but the narcissist never does. That's why they're the narcissist. But fast forward, the smear campaign is the adult version of someone trying to blow up your life, destroy your life, create drama, misrepresent themselves, and tell falseness or tell lies about you, and hopefully hoping to have other people believe it. That's what the narcissist does. Having said all these things, when the narcissist realizes you can see them, there will be a big learning curve for you. Again, I had to go through it, and if I put myself back together against all odds. If I did it, you can do it. You need to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. But all these things I'm sharing with you, it encompasses one thing. The narcissist was hiding in plain sight. The narcissist never wanted you to figure out who they were. The narcissist wanted you trapped. The narcissist didn't want you to see behind the mask. They didn't want you to heal. And the narcissist did not want you ever to break the chains, break the ties, to elevate, to ascend, and to reach the pinnacle of difference, the mountaintop of indifference. That's what you've done, or that's what you're doing. So the less energy you give the toxic people, i.e. the narcissists, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the weaker they get. The weaker they get, the less you realize, or the more you realize, I should say, the more you realize how much damage they did to you, which is why this is the relationship you'll need to heal from. Every other relationship you've been a part of in your entire life, I can assure you, you didn't have to heal from it. Even if you lost loved ones when you were younger, like I did, well, what did you do? You went to the wake, the funeral, and the ceremony, and you grieved with other people. You processed things, and you gave yourself closure, or you had closure with other people. With the narcissist, you're not going to get closure. You're going to get nothing but toxicity dumped into you, which is why you have to get it out of your energy field. And the narcissist knows this because this is how they thrive. They are, again, a parasite. They were looking for a host. They thought they found one in you. What they found in you was a beautiful, bright, shining light that they couldn't extinguish, that they couldn't take down for the count, that they couldn't keep repressed. And they are realizing that each and every day, that you are stronger than they ever thought. You are the powerful one. You are the person who put yourself back together against all odds, and you are the one who defeated the narcissist. Most likely, you are the only person that ever defeated that toxic parasite, the narcissist. And again, I will close the video in a second. You may say, what does that mean? And why would you say that? What it means is, most likely, most people that were trapped in the narcissistic fog with the person you're considering, they never figured it out because they didn't figure it out. I can almost assure you. Number two, you did because you made it this far in the video and you're in the community and you're getting your cup full. And this will create a narcissistic injury, a monumental one for the toxic person that you're considering. Again, I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I'm not going to start now. I never have and I never will. But what happens to the narcissist, it will be a very big price for them to pay as they get older and become the aging narcissist, because they will have to look over their shoulders yet again as their body's falling apart, their mind has become mush. The ghosts and the demons that are riddling their pea brain with anxiety-filled hauntingness of all of the destruction they've created will come back to roost, and you'll be nowhere to be found because you'll be long gone. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10,000 miles away. You will have healed. You will be living an abundant lifestyle. But the thing here is, you will have the wisdom of what you've gone through and the experience of what you've gone through, and that is irreplaceable. One more final thing. Do I wish you went through the cycle? Absolutely not. Do I wish I did? Absolutely not, but we did. We need to address it. We need to heal from it, process it. We need to take the lifelong lessons from the past not to predict the future. Live in the present moment and continue to flourish and continue to shine brighter than the sun, the moon, and the stars. And this will happen once you realize that you finally see who the narcissist is. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Understand a few things. I unpacked a lot of wisdom there. I spoke a little quicker. It's cold. Having said that, you need to realize that if you are thinking or considering that somebody in your life right now is toxic, they're just not benefiting you, you really need to get that sheet of paper out, write the pro-con list down, and figure out what are the benefits of keeping that person in my life or talking to them or whatever, and what are the benefits of me removing them, which means just politely not communicate with them, however you're going to do that. If you do that pro-con list, it will really help you out, because remember, nobody's guaranteed to be here tomorrow. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should ever live 1 second in a toxic relationship, whether it is from 5,000 miles away or in the household you're living in. There's no room for toxicity at all once you acquire the wisdom. And once you get the wisdom, you need to understand that this is a superpower. And with the superpower comes great responsibility. And this responsibility is yours. You need to own it. You need to maintain your boundaries. You need to realize that, yeah, the relationship you're in, it's over. You need to process it, heal from it, and move forward. If you're still in it, as I shared earlier, you will need to, when you are ready, develop, create, and get ready to execute your exit plan, which means get ready to remove yourself from that person when the time's right. If it's not today, great. If it's in 3 months, I get it. If it's in 6 months, this is in your time. Everything is in your time. No longer is it in the time of the toxic narcissist or anybody else. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.